Hello, welcome back to part 4, which is the last part for changing of the subject, right? After this, if you still have any issues, right, do WhatsApp me your problems, alright? I'll try my best to answer you, alright? Okay, so now level 2 question. So it's actually basically if you're able to do level 1 and level 2 questions, you're good to go, alright? Level 3 basically just includes in the word problem, okay, word problem, which is essentially the same. So you see, they will always have a context to the question, and then they give you a formula, and then you see the question is basically the same. They give you a formula asking you to make whatever the subjects, right? It's the same for all the other work problems. So as long as you are able to do level 1 and level 2, 2.5 you are fully covered, right? So let's go through the question for 2A. Right, 2A, okay, I realize it'll be easier for me to write if I don't show the question, right? Just show it here. Right, so question, please refer to your textbook. Please refer to your textbook. So 2A, so y equals to 3n minus 2t over t minus 4n. Right, I want to make t the subject. Same thing, if I see a fraction, by now you should be able to internalize. Once you see a fraction, comes naturally, hey, I need to remove the fraction by multiplying the denominator to every term. Okay. In fact, I don't use the word cross multiply because uh, people may have an error when they're using cross multiply. Right? I go down one level, which is basically I'm multiplying the denominator to every term. So t minus 4n is the denominator. I multiply to the two terms here, and that's it. Then next, there's a bracket, I expand first. See, I'm doing these two steps without even bothering, what am I making the subject? Then, only then, after no more fraction, no more brackets, then I see, oh, I want to make t the subject, terms with t on one side, terms without t on the other side. Okay, this one, strictly speaking, I should be writing ty. Okay, why I write yt? Because I have a friend called yt, alright, that's why it's very convenient. Okay, so after this, you see t on one side. So if there is more than one term, always remember the very difficult step, alright, to remember. The one whenever you're stuck, you must think of it, factorization. So you factorize out only what you want to make the subject. Okay, the right hand side remains the same. Right, then lastly, t will just be equals to 3n plus 4n y over y plus 2. And that's it. Alright, the steps. Of course, at a glance, it looks very complicated, but if you're following me for every step, right, each step is actually very simple. Okay, the key idea here is the more steps you write, the easier it is actually. Okay, 2b, 1 over u plus 1 over v equals to 1 over f. Oh, so now there's 3 fractions, so I basically repeat the step 3 times. Okay, I don't even look at, oh, I don't want to make v the subject. Okay, don't have to care what you want to make a subject. Basically, for me, remove fraction means remove fraction. I multiply by u to every term. Take note, not cross multiply. It's multiply by u to every term. This question, I cannot use cross multiply. No go. So multiply by to u every term. Multiply v to every term. And lastly, multiply f to every term. Right, then terms with v on one side. Factorize. And lastly, the answer. Negative uf over f minus u. Right, you see? Simple, right? Basically, I just multiply the denominator 3 times to remove the fraction. Up to here, step 1, remove fraction. There's no bracket, so I proceed to step 3. Terms with the subjects on one side, terms without the subject on the other side. Then next, step 4, factorize. Next step, answer. So it's always the 5 step, right? Always the 5 step shown in my first video. If you are not sure, refer to that. So I equals to P1 plus RT over 100. Right. So this one I want to make R the subject. Same thing, there's a bracket, so I settle the bracket first. Because the fraction is inside the bracket, so I need to expand the bracket first before I can deal with the fraction. So P plus P Okay, take note, this is a capital letter P, don't make it a small letter, alright? So remove the bracket. Okay, now I can then touch the fraction because just now the fraction is inside the bracket, so I can't really do anything to the fraction, right? So now the fraction is out already. I can multiply. 100i equals to 100p plus PRT. Okay, so you see same. Remove bracket, remove fraction, come together. Then next, make R the subject, terms with R on one side, terms without R on the other side. Okay, just change side. Right, then lastly, I equals to 100i minus 100p over pt. Just take note, the p is a capital letter T, the I is a capital letter I. Do not change them to a small cap. If you do, marks will be deducted because it will mean a different letter, alright, a different algebra. Okay, next D. Y equals to 3x plus 5 over 2 minus z. Okay, I want to make z the subject. Same thing, there's a fraction, so multiply y bracket 2 minus z. I multiply by the fraction to the first term. Second term, multiply to the fraction. And the last term. So you see, it's the same. Alright. And this method is very useful for solving equations also, which next chapter 3 we are going to touch on. Using this method to remove fraction is the best. Alright, it's the easiest method. Okay. Then now expand. 2y minus yz equals to 6x minus 3xz plus 5. Right. Then now I want to make z the subject, terms with z on one side. So let me shift this terms to the left. 3xz minus yz equals to 6x plus 5 minus 2y. Okay, so usually with such a lot of terms, right, a very easy way to check is to count the number of terms. Okay, Coney here is going to help me count the terms, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 terms. After I shift already, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also still have 5 terms. So sometimes just do a very quick count, alright, to help you to ensure that I have covered every term. I did not miss anything behind. Okay, so over here, okay, sorry, I'm going to squeeze a little. Right, so from here, basically factorize out the z. Okay, basically factorize out the z. Just let me check. Yes, I'm out of screen, so I need to shift a little. Okay, so just factorize out the z. Right, then lastly the answer. 6x plus 5y, 5 minus 2y over 3x minus 1. Right? Okay? So, now I know I've been going through the questions just one after another. So, if you need to pause the video so that you can do the next question, please do so. Alright? It is pointless if you are just copying my answer. Okay, so next one, E. Okay, so I just need to check whether I'm on screen. Okay, E. So 2e, y equals to, now this is the one with square root. So always remember, square and square root, they are opposite to one another. Cube and cube root, they are also opposite to one another. So with this, basically I square both sides. Okay, I square both sides. So what it means is literally means I square both sides like this. So this one becomes y squared. The square root and the square, they will cancel out each other. Reason why is because chapter 1 indices we know square root sign means the whole bracket 4 plus x is power half. Half times 2 gives me a power 1, and hence it cancels off each other. Right, now I want to make x the subject. Oh, so this question is very simple. Y squared minus 4 is equal to x. Please don't leave it like this. You need to have x on the left hand side. This is the way to answer question, because then it's like people asking you, hey, what is x? You will say x equals to y squared minus 4, not the other way around, alright? So 2f t equals to 2 pi square root L over g. Okay, this is similar to just now the try it. Let me check my question. Try 18. Alright, the try 18. So over here, what you can do is square both sides. So square both sides is literally means I square here I bracket the whole thing, I square here. Literally means I square the whole of the left hand side and I square the whole of the right hand side, like this. So I have it will be t squared equals to, this one will be 4 pi squared. Okay, remember to square the 2 also. This one, because of the square root sign, it will cancel off to become, gives me this, L over G only. Okay, now I want to remove fraction, so t squared G equals to 4 pi square L. Right, this question I want to make G the subject, oh so just nice, G equals to 4 pi square L over t squared. And there you have it. Right, sometimes it will shock you how simple it is, right? 2G d equals to b square minus 4ac. Want to make b the subject. Same thing. Algebra with the subject on one side, algebra without the subject on the other side. So in this case it's b, right? So the same. Now, so square and square root, they are opposite to one another. So now I need to remove this square. I need to remove this square. So I need to square root d minus 4ac. Something missing? Yes. Plus, minus. Whenever you write square root sign, you must have the plus minus sign. Must have. Okay? It comes as a package together. 2h s equals to v square minus u square over 2a. So, same thing over here. See, there's a fraction. What to do? Remove fraction. 2as equals to v square minus u square. Then I want to make u the subject. So this u is negative, so I want to bring it to the left to make it positive. Okay, it's just a personal preference. Right, so I have this u square minus v square minus 2as. So u will be square root v square minus 2as. There's a plus minus. Okay, must have the plus minus. Right? And now lastly, two more questions, I and j. So 2i, y equals to t square minus x square over t square plus x square. Yeah. Okay. Same thing. Remove fraction. Okay. Expand. Yt square plus yx square equals to t square minus x square. Then next, I want to make x the subject. Terms with x on one side, terms without x on the other side. So yx square is here, plus x square equals to t square minus yt square. Okay, factorize out. But now I cannot just factorize out x because it is x square here. So I need to factorize whole of x square. Alright, basically by right you do not need to remember so hard. What do I mean is, after you get to the answer part here, right, you just check on the left only have x, on the right there should not be any x. Okay, as long as you are able to get that, it is fine. So now last step, x equals to plus minus square root t square minus yt square over y plus 1. Okay, just take note that the square root sign must be big enough to cover both numerator and denominator. Okay, 2j. Okay, now s equals to, space is a bit tight here, square root b square minus n square. Right, so now the fraction is outside the square root sign. Remove the fraction first. 3s equals to 2a square root b square minus n square. This question and 2f, okay, quite similar, right? Okay, quite similar. So we want to remove the square root sign, square everything. I square everything. So again, it is a bracket the whole left hand side square, bracket the whole right hand side square. Okay, so this one gives me 9s square equals to 4a square, remember open bracket, b square minus n square. Okay, there's a bracket. expand the bracket. 4a square b square minus 4a square m square. Right. Now I want to make n the subject. So you see, until here, I did not know, I don't care what I want to make a subject, right? I basically thought about the first two steps: remove fraction, remove the bracket. Okay, square root sign is also a bracket, just bracket power half. Alright, so remove fraction, remove bracket. Then I look at, hey, I want to make n the subject terms with n on one side, so I have 4a square n square equals to 4a square b square minus 9s square. So I shift this term over, shift this term to the right side. Alright. Okay, then now n square equals to 4a square b square minus 9s square over 4a square. Okay. Lastly, n equals to, okay, if the fraction is too big, right, give you a tip, write the inside first. Write the inside first, then you build the house around them. Okay, you build the square root sign around them, but do not forget about the plus minus sign. And there you have it. Alright, this one I'll also take a picture to send it to you guys. Okay, then all the best for your common test.